Hello once again, Star Wars and Unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba, and today I have a little bit of a wider angle because I've got a pretty large item here. Actually, a couple of things, but there's one big item in here, and it's from Disney Parks. Yes, I made another visit, as you know. That's where we rode Rise of the Resistance, and you can check previous videos for that one. It's an awesome ride, an awesome attraction, and an awesome video, if I do say so myself. So sorry for the beeping in the back there. But what we're going to do today is I decided to do a little haul, if you will, of a few items, but I did not do it in Galaxy's Edge. And why did I not do it in Galaxy's Edge? Well, a couple of reasons. Number one, Galaxy's Edge, when it comes to merchandise, it's a little bit overwhelming. I will be very honest with you. I kind of equate it to, and for those of you who aren't old enough for this, back in 1999, there was this little movie called Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, which, from a merchandise perspective, was the biggest, the most, I guess, franchised and licensed movie to date at that time, and dare I say, it's probably the most that has historically ever happened. Now, you have to understand, at that point in history, we had not had a Star Wars movie since 1983. We had never thought in a million years it would happen again. George Lucas was absolutely, I'm not doing it anymore, I'm done. And then finally, and this wasn't because he was old and retired, it was just he didn't want to do it. And then finally, out of nowhere, he re-released the movies in the original trilogy in theaters with some special effects added in, and then he decided he was going to do the prequel. So, lo and behold, it was a big deal. There was promotions everywhere. There was product everywhere. Dare I say, I think, having experienced Episode 1 franchise and licensing happening versus Force Awakens in 2015, dare I say that I think Phantom Menace was even more. Okay? And it was overwhelming. You'd walk into stores and there'd be whole aisles, 1, 2, sometimes 3 aisles, filled with multiple different types of things, and it was just overwhelming. So a lot of people would walk in and then they would look at everything and they'd be like, oh my God, no, and I'd walk out. Of course, eventually I overcame my fear and went in and bought every toy, everything that was there. And, of course, then we all know what happened. For those of us who were around, we all know what happened. There was far more product than they could ever sell. And I think they grossly overestimated what the public wanted when it came to merchandise. And it's just a matter of fact that not everybody, is a collector, and I think that they gambled too hard on that. So ever since then, all movies since Episode 2, Episode 3, Episode 7, 8, 9 have been a little bit more conservative with how much product they released, even on like special days like Force Fridays, that kind of thing. So I kind of felt that way when I go into Galaxy's Edge. I walk in and literally every store is filled with custom merchandise, custom everything that you have never seen anywhere else. And it's so easy to sit there and say, give it to me, give it all, I want it all. Load up the truck, let's go. Reality being what it is, we don't have the funds for that. We don't have the room for that. So I picked and chose certain things. So when I went back for the second visit, I decided, you know what, I'm going to give that a break. We're going to be making another visit in April. Maybe I'll do some more items there. But in the meantime, I wanted to check out a few things in the regular Star Wars stores. What do I mean by that? Well, now what Disney Hollywood Studios has done is set up basically 2 sections. There is the Galaxy's Edge, Batuu, Black Spire Outpost, where it's in universe. You go into that universe, you walk in, and you are in Star Wars. They don't know. You're so in Star Wars, they don't even know what Star Wars is. You're in their world. So that means all the product is reflecting of that, okay? Which is why, you buy toys that are in that universe. Clothing in that universe. Collectibles, things like that, all in the universe, okay? Then outside of Galaxy's Edge, outside of Black Spire Outpost, is the rest of Hollywood Studios, and there's still plenty of Star Wars related content. That's where Star Tours, the original Star Wars motion simulator ride, that's where that's located. It's not even in Galaxy's Edge. It's kind of away from it. And you go through there, and there's gift shops out of there, and there's some extra gift shops in other places in the parks. There's the Star Wars launch bay. And all of this celebrates Star Wars in your own universe. This is like back to being on Earth, 2019, 2020, where everything is about Star Wars. So I decided to kind of focus my purchasing in that part. So as I said, this box is huge. Okay, and I think you'll find that once I start opening it and everything up, that the items in it, there's really one major item, and they try to find the box that's very appropriate for it. Disney does ship, by the way. I strongly recommend that if you are purchasing items there and you don't want to have to pay for more luggage, pay more luggage fees or whatever, you have to weigh it. For us, it made far more sense to simply ship it home. It does take a few days. If you're really excited and you want it right when you get home from vacation, that's a little bit. You can pay a little more for air freight, or like me, if you're like me and you don't mind if it waits a little bit, you can put it on ground shipping. It's a little more reasonable, comparable to mailing something in UPS or the Postal Service, and they tack that on to the cost. If you have an annual pass or you're a DVC member, you can get 20% off most of the stores, which will generally cover the cost of shipping, depending on how much stuff you get. All right, so it took about a week and a half, almost 10 days, from the time I bought it to the time I am now open. It landed. It found its way in my home, at my home. So we are going to open it up. Now I had a 50-50 shot, and yes, I got it right. I felt like this was the heavier side. So I'm going to take everything out. And as I said, I don't know how much. I might have only been. Did I even get anything other than this? I honestly forget. But when I show you this, it's enough. Okay. I'm really happy that Disney and Star Wars are still in a good partnership. I'm trying to do this without taking out too. Oh no, there's more. Okay. Okay. Well, I will show you everything in a moment. Let me just get these things out of the box. There's 1, 2. Let me just make sure 3. And the rest is... Okay. The rest is packing. All right, so what do we got? Well, we got 3 things. First, we've got the Droid Depot Black Series set, okay, which includes 4 figures. It includes, BB-8, R2-D2, C-3PO, and a little ditty I like to call DJ Rex. So we are going to do something for the first time with this. We are going to do a partial unboxing. Why am I going to do a partial unboxing? Well, simple reasons. R2, 3PO, BB-8. Already got them. Same exact figures that have been sold in previous years. They just simply are now, actually there have been several C-3POs. There's C-3PO with the red arm, Force Awakens. There's C-3PO in pieces that Chewie carries. There's C-3PO with the little duller finish. There's C-3PO with the little Babu Frick from the Rise of Skywalker. Okay, let's take a look at these first and see what they look like. This is the only thing I'm not a fan of with this is that it appears to be a box. I'm just making sure here. Yeah, it's just a box. I mean, Disney's usually very much better at opening up their things. But yeah, these figures, R2. I'll get a close-up of the rest of them. 3PO, R2, and BB-8, pretty much same figures that you would see in other areas. So, I'm really just going to focus on the last one here, DJ Rex, okay? Technically but they call him DJ Rex. I'll see if he has a... Yes, it's RX3. R3X, which looks like Rex. RX-24 is more commonly known as Rex, has given up the pilot's life and has reimagined himself as DJ Rex. behind his DJ table, he spins and plays upbeat music as he watches over the crowd in the cantina. So when he's in the cantina, when you go to the cantina, okay, something about this, wait a minute. The Black Series. This looks like there's something doesn't make sense here. Hold on. This box, something is bothering me about this box. What the heck is this? There is actually, and if you look on the inside, it's hard to say, but right there's actually I think they made an error with the box. I think that this was going to be an open, like a box that you can like flip open a flap and see the figures, and something went wrong, and they just opted to close up the box because it's a very weird thing. I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, so for those who don't realize, DJ Rex or Rex was the original pilot of the Star Tours in the Star Speeder 3000. That was in the original Star Tours ride. When the Star Tours ride went down and was refurbished in 2010, I think, Rex was retired, and because it kind of became a prequel, and it became the Star Speeder 1000. Now, he didn't disappear, he was just retired, and then if you go into the ride queue, you'll see him kind of like, actually multiple RX models, R3X models, kind of in this lineup of droids, and it's malfunctioning, and you hear him kind of say, he crackles and his voice says stuff from the original ride, which it kind of doesn't make sense, because if it's a prequel, why would he be damaged? Who knows? I mean, you would imagine he wouldn't have been invented yet. Who knows? But whatever. It's a ride. It's Star Wars. None of the to quote Hawkeye from Hawkeye, Avengers: Age of Ultron. I'm flying. The city's flying, and we're fighting an army of robots. I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. Own it. Be okay with it, and let's move on. Okay, so Rex. Now, fast forward to 2019, and we are now at Black Spire Outpost. And the way the Disney storytellers have told it is that now this is in the future. Rex crash lands a Star Speeder on Batuu, and you can even find like some of the wreckage in the crater where he crash landed. I'm going to assume that if there were any passengers on that, they were okay. Let's assume this is a Disney story, so let's assume that they're okay. Of course, it's a Disney story, so it could have also been that their parents were dead, but that's another story. All right, so let's assume they were okay. And Rex got reprogrammed by the owner of by Oga from the Cantina, and is now the DJ in the Cantina in Black Spire Outpost, which is awesome. So if you ever get a chance to go in there, I want to keep this like the way it is. This is so funny. You are experiencing something quite new here on the Darth Tuba channel. You are experiencing a reboxing. Yes. Mark your calendars. You were here when an item was reboxed. That is correct. Now, why would I rebox it? Well, it is possible that I'll unbox these figures later. But the reality of it is this, guys. I enjoy unboxing more than anything. I think it's fantastic. However, I don't necessarily need to line up 20 C-3POs and 20 R2-D2s out of the exact same figure. So, from time to time, I will keep items in the box to kind of remind people of myself and others of the box art. I'm always a fan of box art. You can see behind me. I don't mind the boxes. I just try to keep samples of it. So here we go. Here's DJ Rex. He's cool. He's got his hands going. Now there have been Rex action figures made. They were smaller. They were not. This is the first Black Series Rex figure. So that's kind of cool. But I enjoy. Oh, it looks like he kind of has his head kind of goes back up and down. That's good, because when you watch him in Galaxy's Edge in the Cantina, he kind of has this thing where his hand kind of goes like this. It's very cool, very fun. And he does sometimes revert back to his original programming. So I feel that Rex is totally and without apology a part of the Star Wars universe. He is canon. He actually has appeared in the Star Wars Rebels piloting a ship. So he is absolute canon without any argument. My camera angle is a little higher, so I'll put Rex here. I have a feeling if I'm not careful, I'm going to end up knocking him over. All right, so next up, we've got a Hot Wheels. I kind of call this, it's Hot Wheels, but I kind of call it Titanium 3.0 or whatever, just because this is really what it is. It's one of the die-cast small vehicles that they've been putting out for years. This is the Razor Crest from The Mandalorian. Yes, it had been a while. I had not seen this one right away. There are a few other items from The Mandalorian. Actually, I think there's only one other item from The Mandalorian. I think it's the AT-ST Raider, the Chicken Walker Raider. Okay, but we're here to talk about the Razor Crest, the Mandalorian's ship. Very cool design, kind of a throwback to the prequels, to the Republic gunship, and it looks like a modified gunship of some sort. I'm not sure if that's what they were going for, but that's what it certainly looks like. And kind of like having this box here. It works well for putting trash away and stuff. All right, so we got our little stand for it. Nice. And see if he has any. Some of the die-cast things have little mechanisms. I don't think this does. It has some guns that swivel a little bit up and down. Oh, not even that really. Now it's pretty static. It's a beautiful ship though. Looks amazing, and I really hope they make this into a toy playset, because there was a lot to that ship. There was the whole thing downstairs. There was the whole carbon freezing set. That's a playset waiting to happen. And what's nice is that it's not. It doesn't have to be like the size of that huge Millennium Falcon or AT-AT that they've made in the past. It can be a moderately sized ship that they can fashion to work. Now, who knows if they're going to do that? But there it is, The Mandalorian, Razor Crest. Awesome show. We've talked about it. So now we've got two representations here. One from Galaxy's Edge and the original Star Tours, and one from Razor Crest. And now save the big one for last. Yeah. Oh yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Sandcrawler, an unbelievably massive, probably the largest playset / toy that Disney has put out as part of their playset. And I could not be more excited. I am a big fan of Sandcrawlers, but nothing has come out even close to this size. I mean, I think the closest that I could say was the original like Sears radio-controlled one, which is great, but this is by far superior in size, all right? And of course, there's also got it also has lots of cool effects to it. So we are opening it up. It retailed, I believe, for $99, which I honestly believe is number one for Disney. I think that's pretty no curse words here. I think it's pretty darn cheap for Disney. I mean, I've seen toys of this magnitude for far more money than that. So now I might need to put a pause on the video. I don't know what the deal is with batteries, if the battery packs are up and running. I'm going to see if I can get this thing going here. I'm watching. Oh! I lost the Razor Crest, but I did not lose Rex. I caught Rex. But the Razor Crest is close by. We can fix him in a minute. All right. Oh my goodness. All right, lots of plastic and all sorts of. Oh boy, this is gonna take some doing here. Wow, there is a lot to literally unpack here. This is absolutely huge. This is unbelievable. I cannot believe that I have not seen. I'll tell you what I can't believe. I can't believe that I have not seen other toy collectors talking about this toy. This is amazing. I mean, there has been, I suppose that the sail barge, the Jabba's sail barge, has kind of stolen a lot of thunder. But my goodness, this is unbelievable as to the size and scope of this, and I cannot get over it. Yeah, I mentioned the Sears back in the original trilogy days, meaning when the original trilogy came out. The only they did make the Sandcrawler available. It was an exclusive. I could not believe it. I guess to some degree it was just too expensive to make, so they only made a small amount, and they didn't want to sell it in regular retail, so they sold it as an exclusive item, which is great. But I'm just using my okay. Got razor. Excuse me. Razor Crest is still there, it just kind of tipped over. So I'll fix that in a little bit. I'm going to get you some, hopefully during this segment of me unclipping this, I'll get you lots of great shots of... we lost Rex again. All right. I think that was everything. My goodness. This was a labor, man. It's got all this tape on it. Oh, I know why the tape is there. The tape is there to protect the doors that open and close and stuff. So, I see. The closest thing that Disney has put out that was this size was that they released a Star Speeder 1000 playset vehicle, which you can go back to old videos and you can see. I think I did like a Disney special. I think I got that before I started doing the unboxings. But, oh my goodness, I can't get over this. This is amazing. Thankfully, it's big, but it's not quite as big with this box. I mean, the box, when I came in the mail, I was like, what am I going to do with this? It's funny. I'm glad I didn't see this before I made for those who've been watching the channel, I made the Sandcrawler gingerbread house. Glad I didn't see this before I did that, because that would have been a challenge. I would have been like, oh, I have to make it bigger. It's funny. For those who are just a little follow up on the Sandcrawler gingerbread house is no more. It has been thrown away. I did break it apart a little bit and munch on it a little bit. But that's the funny thing about gingerbread houses. I know I'm getting into weird subjects on this channel, but gingerbread houses, they're cookies. They're sweet items. And then they're stale. Now, what I don't know, I think there are batteries. There are definitely batteries in this, which we are going to have to load up. So I'm going to do that in a minute. Let me just make sure that all the other aspects of this are out, and they are. And then this is going to go over there. All right. So we will be right back until I'm going to get this thing. Well, actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to get this. Let me shut down here. I'll come back in a moment as soon as I get batteries loaded up. Okay, so we are back. And as you can hear, it has nice moving sounds. All right, so that's cool. In addition, if you look on the inside here, it's got a little, it's hard to see, it might not be hard to see. Got a little furnace. So, there you go, some nice cool stuff there. And I'm gonna, all right. And it, also has oh my God. Did you just see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? Wait a minute. We're not. This is no. Disney. All right, this thing keeps moving, but I'm going to put R2. This R2, by the way, did not come with it. I'm just using it for an example here. I'm going to set it up like this. Okay. Okay. I know. Purists will be like, no, it was a vacuum and it sucked him up like that. Yes, it did that. But I mean, it goes down and comes back up. I mean, come on. What a playable feature. What a cool thing. Oh my God. All right. I'm calming down now. All right. I'm going to take R2 back out. And again, I think part of me is just geeking out over the Land of the Jawas playset, which was just a cardboard piece of looking like a Sandcrawler and a little plastic base that looked like a little sandy ground. And you had that little thing, but you could put the droid in, and from the back you can run a little thing that could go up. And you thought that was cool back in 1978, but this, awesome. All right, go back up. Well played, Disney. Well played. Okay, now you can't open it from this side, so instead you flip it around and you have a full opened up playset here. Another great improvement because now you have playable features in here. Okay, you got this little box here, you've got a little storage area, you've got this, which is I believe it is let me see if I can get this right here. All right, we have this kind of opens down. Very cool, very similar in Mandalorian fashion. Okay, you got this nice little thing that you can use to pick up. This is designed for this power droid, which is really just kind of a static basic figure, but you can use this to that to pick it up, and I think you can. Just a little playable feature. Okay, I don't think this actually retracts or anything. No, it doesn't. So, but it's just a cool little play moment. Okay, as I said, you got your features back there. Now, of course, you also have to have your cockpit, and I'll get close-up shots of all of this. You also have to have your cockpit, and it's a nice little thing written right here. Now, Disney did their best. Okay. But Disney made this, this has probably been in Disney stores for over a year. So they had no concept of what was going to happen on The Mandalorian. Spoiler alert, episode 2? Yeah, I think it's episode 2. Or chapter 2 of The Mandalorian. Oh my God, what a fantastic thing that was. In that case, you're dealing with it, and it's just amazing. So the Jawas fighting the Mandalorian. So when they come out with a 3 3/4 inch Mandalorian figure, you can be darn sure that I'm going to be making adventures with the Mando versus the Jawas on the Jawa Sandcrawler. But obviously this is not meant to be that Sandcrawler. This is meant to be the Sandcrawler from Tatooine, and the cockpit doesn't look exactly the same, but it looks pretty good. It's a pretty good representation. So what I'm going to do is this is where I'm going to put some of my Jawas. Okay, this feature I could take or leave. I mean, it's okay. It's got a little box here that you can kind of drop them in, but it doesn't really do anything besides that, so I'll just leave it like that. Now, I'm going to do one more thing here. And again, what I think I'm going to do with this is I'm going to actually get some close-up of all the videos. I can't do video overlays of this, so just, I'll tack them on the end. But I'm going to put R2. You can actually put him in here like this. And then I think, let me just see if I go down. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. So it makes it really easy. You can put him in the front this way, and then when it comes down, it's just kind of it's open on either side, so it makes it easier. So, oh my God, that is so cool. All right. Some really cool effects. Well done. What an awesome playset. I'm going to sit 3PO down. I'm going to put him in here too. I'm going to put the other Jawa. This is another Jawa that came with it. The Jawa, I will say, the figure is very, very basic. You can just tell it's kind of a little more flimsy version of it. Not as good as the other figures that have come out. I think Disney put all their budget into the whole design of the toy. Another complaint, minor, but there, is all the figures have their peg feet, the little holes. They have no pegs for you to line them up and sit them in there. So the minute I close this and move it around, it's going to as soon as I do that, it's going to eventually stop. Now, I don't know. It had two buttons. It had like a middle and an off, but not quite sure. Now it's off completely. All right, good. So, but regardless of lack of pegs to put figures in, what an amazing vehicle. What an amazing thing. It glides nice and smoothly. Short of making this whole thing a radio-controlled thing, I would say there's not much more. I mean, I will say that the treads on the bottom don't actually move. They just have wheels underneath it, but that's kind of the way most things are. If this thing really had treads, I mean, that just doesn't really work so well. So happy with it. So excited to be able to share this with you guys. Unbelievable. It is still available. Disney parks. I don't think you can order it. It's not available in the Disney store. You have to go into Walt Disney World Resorts, but it would probably be available in a Disney Hollywood Studios. There are two stores. There's Star Tours and the Tatooine Traders next to Star Tours, and then there's one closer to the front of the store, the front of this park, that's kind of an all Star Wars area that have this, and that's probably the two places there, and maybe in the Disney store in Disney Springs. So those are three locations. I'm pretty sure you can find this, and I know it's still available. Again, it retails for $99, but if you have an annual pass, you can probably get 20% off, so then it's $80. Is it worth $80? I think so. I think that's a big hunking amount of plastic here for and knowing what I paid for things like the Millennium Falcon, $250 I think was I didn't pay that much. I paid about half that, but still $125, and that was a sale price for that. For the Millennium Falcon, which was huge, and then the AT-AT, which was about $125. I mean, this to me, and that was like 10 years ago. So to me, this seems about normal. So, love it. But if you just want to live vicariously through my purchase, here it is. It's amazing. But it'd be great for those Mandalorian fans who want to live out their Mandalorian adventures. This is the thing to do it. It is in stores now. And who knows when Disney Disney every year or so they start to pull things off the shelves. You might even find it in the Character Warehouse outlets. On Violin and Disney, right outside of the Disney property, there's a couple of character outlets that you can do it. But I can guarantee you, if this thing goes into the Character Warehouse and is severely discounted, I mean, there are people that'll just go in and buy them all. They'll sit there with a hand truck and take them all off the shelf and just buy them because that's what people do there. So, if you want to, don't hesitate. If you're going to the parks anytime soon, check it out. Thank you so much. That'll do it for today's episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show. We are making another trip to Disney World and Galaxy's Edge probably in April. So we have a plan for that. In the meantime, we have we've done a lot of big time unboxings. We have a follow-up unboxing. Speaking of droids from Galaxy's Edge, we have a follow-up unboxing coming up with that, and then we're going to probably pull the reins, pull back a little bit. Take a little break and do some shelf talks, some things that, go back and take a look at some of the vintage figures and talk through them a little bit. As you can see, I got some work to do. I got my tree still up, and I'm definitely ready to start putting that stuff away. So thank you so much for watching. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter. Check all that information is in the back and at the end of it. Please, if you like it and you stumbled across it, which is harder to do now, subscribe so you can get more videos. Check out all my other videos. Please spread the word about the channel because word of mouth is now my best way to get it out there. I have labeled currently all my videos appropriate for children, which means they are not getting advertised. There's not a lot of information going out for it. So short of you guys sharing it and letting other people know about it, please, there's not much else going on yet. That might change over the years, but right now that's where we stand. So thank you so much for watching. Share the channel. Let people know about it. Until next time,